This is Calamus Marks the Spot. I'm Calamus, middle-aged farming mom from the South.
And I'm Liv, a younger asthmatic girly from the city. And this is a mental health podcast from the South to the city where we talk about religion, our trips, and our experiences. And today, do you have a calamus for us?
I do. So my very best nephew, we were playing together. I always try to make a point to play with him. And he says to me, "Can we play Shut in the Box?" And he like points to the side of the toy box. We have this big wooden toy box at his grandmother's house. And so I was like, sure. So he gets in the toy box. I close the lid and I start like banging on the sides and doing it side to side. I'm like, oh, he's stuck in the box. He's stuck in the box. I'm giving the real experience here, right? And all of a sudden he starts screeching. And I was like, oh my God. And so I opened the box and I was like, what? And he was like, why would you do that? And I was like, we were playing Shut in the Box. I was doing I was like, what? He wanted to play Jack in the Box.
Okay.
So he was expecting to get in there and then immediately pop out. And here I am saying he's stuck and shaking. So it'll be a good core memory for him, I feel certain.
a very first traumatization, if not a list, it made it on the list.
Yeah,
I can't
not so
believe
bad.
Auntie of the year,
Yes.
very best.
I was like, I was doing Shut in the Box. It's like Jack in the Box. I was like, oh,
How old is he?
he's four, five. Wait a minute, no, he's 5.5.
Oh my god! Oh my god! That's a core memory for sure.
Yes, yes. He'll be scared of closets and small spaces from now on.
Oh my god! He's like, please don't shut the door. Please don't shut the door. Now, my sister had that fear, and
Oh.
I don't think I played shut the box with her. I don't know if anybody did, but from a really young age, she freaked out if we got out of the car before her, if we if we shut the
Yeah.
door at all, terror. So I know what his life will be like.
Thomas told me that my brother, he told me the only time he ever really, really freaked out was when my oldest brother used to put them in sleeping bags and zip them up and then swing them around.
Oh, yeah, is talent.
He like got spun around too far and so like he couldn't move out of the bottom of the bag and he panicked.
Stretched out at the bottom.
Where were my parents?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They're busy. They're taking care of a farm. Oh, that is some funny shit. I could just imagine swinging
It
around.
does a little bit sound fun.
A
I can
little
see
bit.
how.
I would say a little more fun than trap in the box.
Yes. Well, I'll suggest it. I'll be like, hey, look, Pete, you didn't like this last time.
Let me show you something else. Oh man, that's funny. I don't think we played any. I'm sure we played something dangerous. I just remember surfing down the stairs on a mattress until we busted a hole in the wall.
I think that in order to do stuff dangerous, and maybe not, but like Robbie, I feel like was mostly the instigator, and I feel like it has to be a
Are
boy
your
who's the
oldest,
instigator.
the oldest?
Yeah, and I feel like Nick would probably instigate it with Xander, and so I feel like maybe you need to talk to Xander and see your youngest brother and see did.
You are so right. He probably
Mm,
has all the. Yeah, you guys used to.
yeah.
Oh yeah, most deaf. Because I feel like for some reason that spin inside a sleeping bag is bringing something back to me. But what?
That sounds familiar.
Hmm. But
Robbie probably did it to y'all too. Y'all were little at the same time.
yes. Yeah, no. Yeah, we definitely couldn't have done anything dangerous at my dad's house because we weren't even allowed to chew gum there. So How could we possibly get our hands on something dangerous? Today we have Danielle with
Yeah.
us. Katie, Danielle, Katie, this is my cousin. She lives in Georgia.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hey.
This is actually Nicole's cousin, Danielle.
Awesome. Awesome. It's so excited to meet you. I can't wait to hear your story.
Thank you.
So we can just start right off with how did you become part of the cult?
I was born and raised, so it's been, yeah, ever since I was born.
Okay.
My mom grew up, well, they became Jehovah's Witnesses when they were like about 5. And then my dad actually came in when he was around 18.
Separately.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. And so when did you leave the cult?
Technically, I got kicked out.
Okay.
I am considered disfellowshipped.
Hmm.
And I actually got disfellowshipped once before, but what had happened was sex before marriage.
The first time.
Yeah. So I had sex before marriage, and then what happened was we both wanted to come back. We both got disfellowshipped, and we both wanted to come back. So we just kind of decided, like, from one day to the next, that like we needed to get married. Like, we felt really pressured into getting married, so that because we lived together, and they wouldn't let us come back if we were living together and not married. So
Okay.
we got married, and yeah, it was a terrible decision.
Yeah, when it's forced or pressured, terrible.
Yeah, we were just kind of like, well, this is what we need to do. Like, there was really no like getting on one knee or asking me to
Um,
marry him. We went to court. We didn't really have a wedding. We just went to court one day. It was like a random Thursday or something. Like,
so not special.
no, not
That's very common. That's very common. I know a lot of people who that happened to, but I have questions. So, why would your dad come in at 18? Was he looking for something or did he not have a good family or?
my dad is very closed off about his past. So I know very few things about him. I know what I do know is that he probably was an easy target because he grew up with his grandmother raised him. He said that his mother died when he was really young and his dad left before he was born. And that was something that really weighed on him for most of his life. So when he came in, he had men to teach him how to do man things. And so, they taught him how to fish, they took him camping. My dad knew how to do everything because he was taught how to do those things from other men um, in the church. So I think that, another piece from my dad has, before he died, he did tell me that he never felt loved growing up. He never felt wanted. His grandma always told him that she was going to give him up for adoption or whatever. Like, so I think he was just craving love and like attention from people. And I think that he made a really easy target for someone um, that, because I know they do prey on people that don't have anything else, that don't have family.
And was he in
Absolutely.
it until his death or did he?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was actually really upset because, I wasn't invited to the funeral or anything, but I still went. And I found out at the funeral that he could have lived a little bit longer, but he refused a blood transfusion. And so that was really upsetting to me. And yeah, because I think it's
Oh,
disgusting that they do that.
yeah, I'm so
And
sorry
they,
that.
they were up there like praising him, and it was just like, it's so sick, and twisted. And
Did they
yeah,
let you sit with the family at the funeral?
my mom did ask me to sit with her. Yes.
Okay. Well, that was at least something.
Yeah, that was nice.
Is your brother still in?
Yeah, my brother is. He didn't talk to me. He has a big issue with me, but
Mm.
so yeah, we don't.
We don't talk about Bruno.
He's very toxic, so I'm glad he's not in my life.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I get that.
Okay. So you got married. How long had you been dating your husband before you got married?
I mean, I don't even remember it. It was so fast, though. It was like we had sex, and then it was like, okay, you you don't like you're just like, oh, sex like with this person, like this is the first person I had sex with. I have to marry them, like I have to be with them. And so I just remember very quickly, like, when we got in trouble for that, we and I just gotta point out, isn't it weird that they made us like tell on ourselves, like got us to tell on ourselves?
How did it go
Abs-
down? Tell us how you got caught.
We didn't. Well, like I just felt bad about it, and I like told on myself. Like they make you
your
think that
parents
like
weren't asking you like about your boyfriend or this guy.
I wasn't I wasn't allowed to talk to boys. I had a very strict like upbringing. So this was probably the only boy I had an interaction with.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I was living with my family when that happened because I did move out. I think I was close to 19, but I was 18 when I moved out.
Full grown adult.
Yeah,
Full grown adult. Allowed to make your own decisions.
Yeah.
Okay.
but
Gotcha.
obviously they make you feel terrible about being a human, and so then you confessed.
Yes. And then I remember he like quickly moved in with me after, and then yeah, we just quickly got married after that.
Did he go with you to
Uh,
confess?
no, no, he had his own separate.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Confession.
Did you ever talk about it later to see if they ask you the same kind of questions that they asked him?
No, he is not a part of my life anymore, so I haven't talked to him. I haven't been married for 12 years, so it's been a while.
Oh yeah, for the best.
But yeah, so we did that, and then what happened the second time that I got disfellowshipped was um basically he was physically and verbally abusive, and they told me that I could not divorce him, that I could separate from him. But that would mean I'm attached to him for the rest of my life and I can't date anyone else, or, I just have to like remain separate from him, but also remain single for the rest of my life. And at that point, I was just like, this is not for me. This is not making me happy. This is not what I want to do. And I kind of went on a like little sex spree.
As we do.
And I was like, freedom. And then basically came back, and like I wasn't gonna tell them anything, but someone had like guilted me into like telling on myself. So I did end up talking about like all these people that I had sex with. And literally one of the elders there was like crying. He like couldn't take it because he had watched me grow up,
Yeah.
and he was just like, I watched you grow up and I can't believe. And I'm just like this old man is just crying in front of me because he can't hear the things that I have to say. Like just so outrageous.
Yeah.
How
And
old were you then?
22.
It's just insane. So insane. I had the same similar talking about sex in the back room and an elder that watched me grow up cry about it. And I'm like, you got like these things don't go together. I don't
Do you
know.
think it's in the book? Like you have
Yeah.
to practice it?
Tears. We need tears. Yes. I think that they get together and they say, we got to make them feel bad. You have to make people feel bad. That's the whole thing, is like cut your family off so that they feel lonely and ask for forgiveness and come back. Like that is their whole thing. So
Well, they're the cryingest bunch of motherfuckers I've ever seen.
I know, and it's quite frankly embarrassing. We're talking about sex. Please don't cry when we're talking about sex.
Right? Isn't that so weird though that you're like I'm like a 22-year-old in front of three old men talking
Just,
about my sex life? Like
And they
that's not
want
so weird. Like
they
that's
and
not,
they want to know the details, and you're just like,
yeah,
okay, for your spank bank later.
right?
It's so disgusting. No, it's full 100% creep. Absolutely. So, was there like one particular teaching that you just were like, this is where I draw the line?
Even when I got after I got disfellowshipped, I would go to meetings sometimes, and because it was really hard for me to break free from the fact that like I still felt guilty and like I had done something really wrong. And they hold that like, well, you're not going to make it in Armageddon over you. And that was very scary to me.
Mhm.
So I think, and then they kind of made me feel like too, like I grew up to be like, if you're not in a Jehovah's Witness, you're not going to be happy. You're going to be out in the world and you're
mhm.
going to be miserable, and all these bad things are going to happen to you. And bad things were happening to me, but it wasn't because of that. But at the time, I had been so like brainwashed to think like, oh, this is happening because I did something bad. So I would go to meetings sometimes. And there was one time when I went to a meeting and they were, um, talking about like homosexuality, and the man giving like the sermon or whatever the talk, he was just saying like, the LGBT uh what does he say, LMNOP, like, and then everybody started laughing, and I was just like, you know what, if you don't agree with homosexuality, there's no need to make fun of the people that are part of the LGBTQ community. And you're trying to invite people. What if someone was there, like watching you just laugh at
Yeah.
them, you know? And I have a lot of friends that are part of the LGBTQ community. I am part of that community as well. And I was just like horrified. I was just like, why? Like it just kind of started to click with me, that, and then the whole like women can't have high positions in the church and they are not treated equally within the church. So those are the two things that have really like, sometimes you're like, well, maybe, and then it's like, no, these are hard facts of like things that shouldn't be going on.
Of suppression. Yeah. Like keeping people in line, small, controllable. It's
Okay. But we have to ask you. Nicole said she could rock the sound booth. I always wanted to do the literature counter. Olivia, she
microphone.
really wanted to do the microphones. What job did you want to do?
Oh my God, I've never thought of that.
Great. Great time to think.
Maybe an elder so I could get all the tea.
I love that. Yes. That is so good. Now, do we know what the elders do, like as a job title?
What they do
Yeah, like they're
is
just
like
overseeing everything.
shepherd the flock, you know, overseeing and making sure everything. I don't know. I feel like they're little police.
Yeah, yeah,
Crying
yeah.
on command.
And they get exempt from everything.
I don't know too much about them, but I'm sure they do.
I mean, in a position of power, you have to. It has to come with it.
Right. I mean, my dad got away with a lot and he was an elder. So, I mean,
Oh.
we were physically abused growing up, and no,
It,
like he was an elder for a very long time.
that is the worst.
I shouldn't say that about him because he's dead now, but
But he can
it's
never
the truth.
experience it by accident and worry about it. So, I mean, he's hearing about it now, I guess. He was already here. Do you have a back room story besides the sex? Like, did you get pulled in by somebody else telling on you?
No, I always told on myself. I was so terrified. I was such a terrified little thing. Like, I just was so worried. And I think a lot of it had to do with my dad as well, because he kind of raised me, like, he was really scary to me. And so he
Hmm.
raised me to be like afraid that, like, if it was either like, but it was like the possibility of him finding out. If he found out, it was going to be so much worse. So I just had that hanging over my head. And I was just like, might as well tell on myself because it's going to get worse if he finds out.
Yeah, and it makes sense because he found the religion at a vulnerable time and they taught him everything, and that's what they teach is to have fear in God, have fear in your elders, have fear in your parents. So he was probably so proud that you guys were afraid of him.
Yeah, because it made the family was real, like looked really good on paper. Like I had people come up to me all the time that were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I love your dad. He is so sweet. I wish he was my dad." And it's like there was so much going on behind closed doors. Like the family, like people looked up to us. Like I was a regular pioneer. My mom was a regular pioneer. My brother, I think, was a regular pioneer as well. My dad was an elder. So we all like had high positions. I was asked to like speak at conventions, like, but my dad orchestrated that, like my parents orchestrated that so that we could look the best, like the best family, like like the family to look up to. And we completely were not. We were like
No.
complete opposite of that.
Did you tell the truth on your timesheets?
I did. I know Nicole didn't. Nicole didn't all the time.
Yep, yep. She confessed. She's like, no way.
Okay. You
I
were
would get
really
so
knocking
mad
on
at her.
doors too.
I'm sorry, what?
I said you were really knocking on doors too, weren't you? You weren't doing the fake knock. Me and you.
I had to because I was with other people that, you know,
You were the role model.
yeah.
Insane. Insane. I feel like my family was tainted from the get go. So nobody was like paying attention to us as like children to like be doing good because we are just like, they're glad we're there, I think. And
Hmm.
so I made up numbers or yeah, I didn't even understand anything. So I was just like, what did you put? Okay. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna say? And I always loved it when I get to go to yard sales because I was like, this is the best. We would do
Oh,
it all the
those,
time.
my parents loved those because they love the art sales. I totally forgot about that. That
Yes.
was the most embarrassing. Like preaching was so embarrassing for me.
So embarrassing.
It was so like, and so going up to someone's yard sale, like, haha, we got you.
Joke's on you. I'm selling you something. Do you have any crazy service stories where anything crazy happened?
I have a fear of dogs because when I was little, we went to a house, and so many people are upset to see you. Like a lot of people just hate that you're there. And so some guy was like upset and he let his dog out on us. And I was like really little. And I just remember this dog charging after me, and my dad had to like pick me up. And I don't remember much after that, but I've had a fear of dogs ever since because someone did that. That men would come out in their underwear when it was me and my, teenage friend preaching. Like, why are they letting teenage girls go to these doors by themselves? It's so unsafe.
Yeah.
And they're creepy men coming out in their underwear purposely or like undressing you with their eyes. And it's like,
And
listen,
then gonna invite you in. Like,
yeah.
All the guys that we've talked to though have had a woman come to the door in the same way and try to seduce them. Every single man
Really?
that we've talked to. Yep.
and one
That's
guy, one man, guy on
crazy.
man. Yeah. It's just a crazy. Well, and now with their freaking little carts, like, okay, what a joke. Um, I do want to ask, when did you get baptized and like why? What were you feeling?
I got baptized when I was 15. And honestly, what I've noticed a lot is I was just longing to make my dad happy. Like he was just like, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. And it's like I was achieving, like I was learning sign language to preach the Bible to people in American Sign Language. And like that still wasn't enough, you know? And so I was just like, I got to the point where I was just like, why am I doing this when I don't want to do this? I'm doing it to, you know, for my dad. So I think a lot of it had to do with my dad being proud of me. Also having a lot of people like look up to me. Um, and also it was what the other kids were doing too. So it was just kind of like, I just feel like if you can't get married at that age, like, why are they letting you commit to something that serious to
For
them?
the rest of your life.
Yeah, at such a young age. Um, so yeah, I did get baptized at 15. I feel like it just was what I was supposed to do. I wanted people to be proud of me. Um, so yeah.
Yeah. No, that's their thing. That makes sense. They're driving you. That first marriage was the first guy you ever dated?
We didn't even date. Well, yeah, we just kind of like I met him through his mom was deaf, and so I she was really nice to me, and that's how I met him, through the sign language congregation. And so we would hang out like out in service together, and that was about it. Like that's when we would see each other. So after that, I don't even remember like how it got to sex. It's been so like that was just
Yeah,
another
yeah. It was
life,
a different
like
life.
another lifetime for me.
Totally, totally. And so how has it been different dating outside of the cult?
It hasn't been much better, to be honest. Men are trash no matter what. No, I'm just kidding.
Pretty much, pretty much.
No, you know what I've learned is I'm having to do a lot of therapy on relationships because they don't teach you boundaries, they don't teach you consent. So I have been taken advantage a lot in my life by men because I just didn't understand what consent was. I didn't understand that I could say no to things. I didn't understand boundaries. And so I am having to like learn all of that as an adult. And on top of that, you know, just like I said before, I grew up really abused. So I tend to fall into abusive relationships.
Yeah.
Um, so that, you know, played out with my marriage. And, you know, I had one really good relationship, but I sabotaged it. And so it's just been a mess, but I'm going to therapy to try and like do things better and, you know my worth and
Yeah.
find someone that treats me like I deserve.
Oh, good job. It is so hard. It's yeah, it's so much about practicing and experience like different types of people because I just went to Europe for the first time and I'm like, "Oh, this is classy. I've never seen classy." And the way like they talk about women, I'm like, "Are you just like the most respectful human on earth?" Like
Yeah.
never heard of her. So, and then I'm like, wait, oh, I should feel this way. And I've done a lot of practicing outside of the cult. So I felt like I was like at a good place. And then it was like next level blow my mind. So it's a practice and you go,
And
girl.
fortunately, we know a lady who makes it, is it an online thing about relationships? Olivia, Liv, your book, your online thing.
Oh, the toxic. Oh, yes. um, yes, about red flags in relationships. I did. I made a little ebook about it. Because yeah, it's really hard and it has to do with a lot of therapy. And I ended up actually going on a retreat because I was in a bad marriage at rock bottom as a consenting adult. And I was like, why does my life suck? And I'm in charge of it. And so, it's so much work, but it makes everything so much better. But it's tough and they set you up for failure in the cult.
And for sure, it does make relationships really hard if you don't have therapy.
Ugh.
Um, it does.
And
It
then
really.
when you feel like you finally understand, you gain more self-worth, you have more self-confidence. Trusting yourself is a huge one because they don't teach you to do that. I feel like now that once I have done that, now I can hear what men and people are saying now instead of their words affecting me. I'm able to hear what they say without them affecting me. And I'm just like, there's no way I'm getting married. There's no way I'm going to sit here with another guy, like in the same house when, like, you haven't worked on yourself. What are you even talking about? You're contradicting yourself. Like, now that I can hear what you're saying, I'm like, oh, this is a joke. You're just really cute and I want to kiss you. But, like, there's no way we can cohabitate together because you're a mess. So
Right.
it's almost like, yeah, the more you learn, and of course, there's going to be somebody out there that can be on your level and you can grow together. But, like, it's a joke.
I feel really stunted and like just yeah, like I was like I'm having to learn about consent in my 30s, like or in my 20s. And it's just they don't, they shelter you so much that you are set up for failure. You are set up to be in bad relationships, to have bad sex because they're like, well, you don't get to test it out. You just get to get married and figure it out for yourself. Like,
No, they make it like harder. They teach you the opposite of consent. They teach you to hide and do something against your will and not listen to your conscience.
yeah.
Like, it's going against your entire makeup, your human makeup. Like, it's insane. Um, are you religious now at all or spiritual?
I go between atheist and agnostic,
Yeah.
um, just because I'm a cynical motherfucker.
Amen.
But it could change at some point. I'm trying, the thing is like they kept you in this box and they're like, you can't learn about other religions or else. And it's like, okay, that's a little sus. Like, why am I not allowed to learn what's out there? Is it because maybe you're not right and we might figure that out? So I am trying to like take the time to um learn, because they told us not to. We weren't allowed to. And they were basically, why would you want to know what else is out there when we're telling you we're right? So,
Truth.
right.
Yeah, that was my biggest thing. Once I left, I just was like, I'm gonna say yes to everything. How about that? Um, but it definitely took me a long time. I just didn't even want to think about religion or God, and I was just like, who's that? Don't care. And then my rock bottom relationship, he started learning about spirituality, the universe, quantum physics, energy, like different, like a way different world. And he was obsessive about it, so he would spew out all the things he learned. And so I kind of got to learn it in like my own environment, take it with a grain of salt because it was something he was doing, so I could just like see what I liked about it. Oh my God, it's so much better. But like a name to it, a label to it, nah. But it opened, like, it just like opened up another world in the world and the universe. So it's definitely about connecting with more people and keep learning and asking questions and keep connecting with different types of people, because if even a rock bottom relationship, you can still take, like, I learned so much from him, and I'll keep the good stuff.
Good.
Yeah. Um, was there something normal that you thought growing
So
up that you found out wasn't?
Armageddon.
Love that
That
answer.
scared me so much. And it's funny because I have a friend that grew up, we actually grew up we didn't like each other growing up, actually. I was best friends with their sister. But we talk now and we're really good friends. And they messaged me and they were like, so with everything going on in the world, do you kind of feel like maybe the Jehovah's Witnesses were right? And I'm like, don't let them get to you. But I know that it's in your head like, okay, bad things are happening. That means Armageddon's coming soon. And that's what they get you to keep you, to keep you doing what they want you to do. And that was just such a big, horrifying, scary thing for me.
We just found out that they had to apologize because their first Armageddon estimation was so wrong. And so I'm like,
Well, I didn't know they gave an estimation.
a millennial Armageddon. What was it called?
Y2K.
But
Really?
yeah, and like this elder top guy at Bethel or something had to apologize. Was like, no, it was us. So sorry.
We started figuring too early because now there's they maintain a list of the anointed, and they get your browsing history. You might come off the list.
What's the anointed again? It's been so long.
I know. The anointed are the 144,000.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, just making sure.
Yep.
So what about them?
They're keeping a list now, and you can be off the list. Yeah.
I love how it's men making these decisions, but somehow it comes off as like God, somehow this equals God.
Apparently, God got the final list of the 144,000, and he was like, "Y'all got to go back. This is not going to work for me."
He's checking it twice, gonna
Yeah,
find
he was
out
like,
he's
"No."
naughty and nice.
Santa Claus this whole time. Oh my God. So now how do you feel about the people who are still in drinking the Kool-Aid?
I have not been a part of it for 12 years. It has been a very long time. For me, oh my God, I see their little carts downtown and I want to kick them over so bad. I just want to scream and kick over their carts. But it's nothing against them personally because I understand like what it's like to go door to door and be out there in the heat and not wanting to be there and being yelled at and treated like crap by everyone else, like because of it. And it's like in their brains, they think they're doing the right thing. They think they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're not being malicious. I don't feel like they're being malicious. And even as far as like disfellowshipping and not speaking to me, it has been very hurtful. But at the same time, I've done that to people in the church as well because I thought that that's what the right thing to do. That was helping them. They make you
Mm-hmm.
think helping them, and so I understand. Like to me, I have compassion and I show understanding because I've been there. And I know it's not great. So I'm not like super hateful to them. I mean, I'm cordial, but in
Yes.
my mind, I'm kicking over their stand and screaming.
Yes. Well, that's very big of you to have compassion for them. Do you have anything that you want to say, Danielle? Of your own accord?
Well, how much time do we have?
As much as you need.
I'm just kidding. One thing that I really want to talk about for me is just the fact that how awful disfellowshipping is, how cruel it is, because I know a lot of people that have left but had a little bit of both worlds. So they still had their outside friends. My parents were very strict. I was not allowed to have friends from school. I wasn't allowed to, speak to anyone else or have, I was just in a box. I wasn't allowed to know anything else. So when I got kicked out, I literally from one day to the next had no one. I was going through a divorce at 22 by myself. I when that happened, I had attempted suicide. I was in ICU for 3 days. I woke up and no one was there to like it was like no one cared. The only person that showed up was my boss that I had been working with for like less than a month. And he brought me a cheeseburger and my phone charger. And because I had to tell him what was going on. And he was the one person that showed up for me. And my family, my brother had told me that him and my dad showed up, but then he decided that like I wasn't worth it because he thought that it was selfish that I had attempted suicide. And then I remember waking up and the nurse was on the phone with my mom and she said, "Oh, she's awake. Would you like to talk to her?" And my mom said no, she didn't want to talk to me. And it was like no one gave a shit. And for many, many years in my 20s, was filled with me attempting suicide more times than I can count, and having a really bad drug addiction. And so it was really, it was me just like so feeling like I was a terrible person, feeling like I was deserved to be isolated, feeling like all the bad feelings I was feeling were warranted because I had done something wrong. And it just sucked me in this spiral of like, I didn't want to be alive. I didn't care about myself. I treated myself badly. And so I just want people to know like the seriousness and how, you know, the dark side of this religion, because people see, like sometimes I'm like, I don't want to say like it's a cult because I feel like nobody's going to believe me because they seem very nice. They are very helpful. They will go out of their way to help people move or, you know, bring them things, you know, new, especially new people, you know, that's how they get them, is like they're just so helpful and hospitable and
Mm-hmm.
kind, until you don't do what they want you to do. So I just wanted to make that, um, just shed a little bit of light on what it does to people behind closed
Yeah,
doors, that they
for
really
sure.
are, and that it's really cruel.
It is. It's horrible. And when you think about it though, I mean, it's was years and years and years of honing that punishment to make it so people didn't want to get out. I mean, that's the very definition of the cult. And because a lot of times I would feel so like, how did I fall for that? But I mean, like, it was a lot of years of people fine tuning that, you know, and now they've changed the whole thing, where they say they don't want to cut off your family and stuff like that. I guess to make it to keep people in, to keep people in.
Yeah, they have to adjust it because now more people are just asking questions and more people are like, whatever.
What I was told, because my dad sent me this video, like a 10-minute video about the changes they were making, which one of them was women can wear pants now. Oh,
Thank God. I was on the fence.
oh. We can. Thank you. In 2025, we're barely doing this. All right. Anyways, um, it had started off with like calling people who were disfellowshipped like bad and wicked. And I'm just like, why am I going to watch this when you're just going to shame me? And I told my dad, I was like, this just feels really shaming. Can you just tell me what it's about? And he basically said that, I can go to meetings and people can actually like say hi to me now. They don't have to ignore
Lucky
me.
you.
Right? I get a hi, and it's up to their conscience whether or not they have a conversation with me at the meeting. So now, isn't that a little manipulative though? Because now the blame is off them. It's now on each person's conscience. So if somebody doesn't talk to me, that's on them. That's not on the church, you know?
Totally, you're right.
So it
It's just
just, I was really enraged by it, because they're trying to, my dad was like, isn't this a great change? And I'm like, what? That you can have a conversation with me at church? That's sad. Like, you're looking at this as a huge provision. And it's like, oh, so you can treat me like a human being for a millisecond? Thanks.
No, not interested. Oh, it's so sad. It's the breadcrumbs.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-mm. Well, I'm glad that you are on the up and up. That is what's important. My God.
Yeah, and that's why like now I'm just trying to figure out my life because I lost a lot of it to, you know,
Oh my God. Turmoil,
yeah,
spiral, confusion in a box. Yeah,
yeah.
totally. And you got plenty of it left. And we can't, like, even as just young people, it's hard to understand shit, right? But then you add that and like suppression, it's like a joke. So no matter what, your 30s are better. But now also you've gotten a lot of help and more experience. And so,
and now you can say yes to everything and it's going to be a kick ass.
but you have to make sure you're comfortable with consent. That I'm still working on it. It's
Yeah.
progress. It's really hard.
But I do want to say something. I
Yeah.
am going to be starting a TikTok.
Okay.
I have been obsessed with watching documentaries about cults.
Yes.
So I want to start reviewing the documentaries, have some commentary, and then sprinkle in a little bit how the Jehovah's Witnesses are very similar, because all these cults have different teachings and ideas, but the tactics are all pretty much the same.
Totally.
So I just want to like point that out and stuff. So
What's it going to be called?
oops, I drank the Kool-Aid.
That's cute. I really like this idea because I still have I'm very triggered by watching those documentaries, but I would like to know. So having your recap will be perfect.
Yeah. So yes, I have the TikTok page. So you guys, anybody can look it up, follow it, and then I will be starting to post some videos soon.
Yay! Great. Thank you for coming on here, Danielle.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you.
You too.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye. Okay. My Amsterdam story. Loved it.
What are they called?
They
Amsterdamians?
They're Dutch.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And they speak Dutch in a lot of the Netherlands. So it's the most beautiful place, but there's so many tourists because it's the most beautiful place. They have the best weather, but now because of global warming, it's getting warmer. So it's even more beautiful than it used to be because it used to be colder. Gorgeous, all these canals. One thing, we were staying in hostels, which was a very fun experience. They were really nice ones, and we had great roommates, which I guess we were lucky because we heard stories. But my friend, who is like camping girl outside, doesn't wash her hands as much as I do, kind of thing. Like she's like, germs are great. She was having all these allergies, and I was having nothing. I had no problems. Didn't take any allergy pills. I was like, wait a second. My hair never felt better. I'm like, is this my place? I was freaking out. It was fantastic. Another great thing is that all the restaurants and bars and everything have terraces outside, which is just, patios, not even, doesn't have to be on the second floor. It's just outside the establishment. And a lot of them have the chairs facing the street. So it's like, come sit and people watch and drink and have a smoke. It's like fantastic. When I first got there, I was like, oh, I should change because everyone's in fashion, like no matter how old they are, no matter where they're going, they just look great. They're in a blouse, in trousers, whatever. And this guy walks by me and he was like, oh, you beautiful girls, you want to talk? And we were like, no. And he walks past me and goes, can I eat that juicy ass? Later found out it was a tourist because they would never.
They would not say that.
No. And then we did a food tour, which I highly recommend a food tour in every place you ever go to from now on. Not just because you get the best from every restaurant, but you learn the history. And we got beers with the tour guide after. He loved us. So we, asked a lot of questions. We were really involved. We loved it. And we went and got beers. Then he's like, go to the next place. Then go to the next place. We went to the local pub. It was wonderful. We got to meet now Dutch people, all the locals. Sweet, posh, so cute. Our tour guide was a judo black belt, very obsessed with being strong or whatever. And I had mentioned that I used to wrestle and I like to arm wrestle. So we arm wrestled at one of the restaurants. And then after we had all those beers, he was like, how about let's wrestle? So we wrestled in the street in the cobblestone. He was surprised because I flipped him over in a dress. So that was nice. And then the 6'5" nice Dutchman just told me how small and tiny I was. And so he picked me up and swung me around. And then he ended up putting me on his shoulders. And I was like, he's not even cute, but he's so tall and strong. And he just lifted me up like I was nothing. It was a great experience. Then we went to Berlin, and hotter, more grungy, so much art and graffiti everywhere. The Berlin Wall was amazing. So much history and There's food from every single place in the whole world there. And it's like one strip. There is Georgian food, Asian food, Sudanese food, like all these different crazy, wonderful cuisines. Um, and we tried to go to a techno club. And the night we went, it was after work party. And so they played the YMCA. It was so not it. But German Navy SEALs came to dance.
Oh,
That was wonderful. And so we found some beautiful men. We danced with them. I had a talk in the alley with the one. Wonderful, great. And I think my ratings are a 7 for both of those places. Now, I think Amsterdam, their accents, everyone smells so good. And they're so tall and big. And their motto, their thing they say is we're taller and live longer. Like that's their thing in the Dutch. So that's why they get a 7. They're not as cute. Berlin, cuter. And so
I told you.
Yeah, And so their accent, all the accents, and everyone just smells so good. So yes, into it, very into it. But then I thought, there's no way I'm learning Dutch. I can't move there. And it's so disrespectful to move there and not try. So I'll give it a chance on Duolingo for a little, but I think I have to live here. But I'll visit a lot.
And don't try German on Duolingo. They're just like, give up now. It's bad. I didn't even make it through the first lesson.
I love that you tried.
I was like, this is not a language. I don't know.
This ain't gonna work for me.
No.
Yeah, and when do you know when to and when to? Yeah.
And there's no vowels. What do we do? I don't know.
Oh, and this one guy was trying to teach me a word, and it was like like you had to make that sound, and he kept repeating it. So I was like, I feel like I'm doing it. Is that? So sad for us. We're so ignorant.
Here's your question.
Okay.
What is your sock situation? Because I recently discovered that I may have an unusual sock situation because I cannot sleep without socks on. And when I get in the shower, I take my socks off. And when I get out of the shower, I put my socks back on. Not the same socks, but like that's the only time I don't have socks on. Or if I'm in a swimming pool.
I have a counter question.
Okay.
Does your floor have a lot of crumbs that you don't want to feel? So you have socks on?
Yes.
Knew it. Because I have shoes on. Because I'm a little bit sweaty for the same reason. And I can wear them to bed. And yes. So I understand your situation. But I can only sleep with socks on in the winter because I'm cold. So I do like socks. I am very pro socks. Especially with shoes. Do you? Okay. Because we all know my mother does not.
Barely. I can barely stand I like the low ankle socks, but not the low ones. I call those the thong ones.
Yeah.
I can stand them if I need to for the sake of fashion for a very short time, but not just in general.
Yeah.
Carl said, I've done everything else. This is it.
Here's my butthole. I don't know
what
to
do. Last trick.
I can't get nothing around here. Oh my God. And you're out of mom moments. You're out of mom moments because you don't have kids anymore. They're grown.
No. Okay. I just had a kid at 8:08 p.m. on a Sunday text me, will you get me pickles? I am nothing but a butler.
Oh,
like I could be a concierge for anyone because I've got this.
They've trained you wonderfully.
Yes. Will you get me pickles? But why are you still awake? It is 8 o'clock. You're supposed to be in bed. Not to mention the fact that I made rice, hamburger steak and gravy, rice, uh acorn squash, and broccoli. And you want pickles?
Pickle. From the south to the city.
Oh, yeah, don't be shitty.